point, which is non-residents looking to buy property in South Africa, as well as non-residents selling property and looking to get funds out of South Africa, just around the rules and regulations and processes around that.
Yeah, so South Africa is obviously quite an attractive destination for foreign buyers. Our exchange rate obviously is really low. The buying power that you have with pounds and euros and US dollars is huge in a country like ours. So obviously we live in an awesomely beautiful country, and we have lots and lots of foreigners coming to buy. So there are a couple of things that we need to advise foreigners when they do firstly come purchase in South Africa. It is important to keep the funds, proof of the funds entering South Africa. And I can't stress this enough. We find it so often that 10 years down the line, the guy brought money in through the bank and the bank never advised him on anything, and he's not kept the proof of funds. This then means that it goes from an exchange control application. When he wants to send the money back out for selling the property, it goes from exchange control application to reserve bank application. It takes 4 to 6 weeks as opposed to 10 days. Yeah. So the money will be able to leave the country. It just becomes a bit more of an issue. Foreigners are able to mortgage 50% of the property. The rest has to be cash. So a big client of ours is Uber. And what happens is a lot of foreigners will come into the country, buy a property, mortgage 50% of it, and we will then help them bring in the other 50% in cash and pay to the attorneys.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of the time foreigners don't buy here because they are looking for a holiday home. They're buying because they're moving here or being sent here to work with a company. So it's important to let foreigners know that when they do move to South Africa to work on a working visa, that they are able to remit 75% of their salary out of South Africa. And then if they do move here, whether it be for leisure or for work, that if they've stayed in the country for more than 5 years, under the South African Reserve Bank regulations, they are deemed as a South African resident and will fall under the South African exchange controls. So, they will be required to get an ID, a tax number, and then the 1 million and 10 million applications will then, they fall under those once they've been living in the country for more than 5 years. So that's also important to stress to them. You've obviously, once guys buy, they then 10 years down the line decide they want to sell for whatever reason. Like I said before, you're able to remit the full amount of funds you brought in plus the property investment gain from the sale. You just need to obviously prove to the bank that the property was sold at arm's length. The funds were obviously introduced into the country, and we then submit it to exchange control or the reserve bank, depending, and we get approval. Pretty simple and easy. Our company does that for the non-resident. So that's pretty much that in a nutshell. It's